log on to your eBay account, and even though things have been going really well for you, it suddenly looks like you have $0 in sales. What the heck happened? Well, this happened to me recently. I usually sell several $1,000s worth of products on eBay a day. The other day I logged in, it said 0. So I'm like, what the heck happened? Well, here's 6 reasons why it might look like you sold $0 on eBay for one day, and what might actually have happened. So this is being recorded live, so I'm going to spend about 10 minutes answering that question, and then we'll go into the live chat, answer any questions you guys have about eBay or Amazon dropshipping. So if you're watching this on replay wondering why the video is so long, that's the reason why. You can just watch the first 10 minutes if you want the main information. Now, I will give you a little bit of disclaimer up front. The first 5 reasons that I'm going to go over, they actually do result in you getting 0 or almost $0 in sales. But as you're going to see, it's not because your sales have dried up. It's because of a really easy, quick fix, or something small that went wrong that's really easy to fix. So it's kind of, I just don't want any of you saying, well, it really does result in you getting $0 in sales. Yes, but quick fix, and I'll show you what they are. So let's get right into the first one here. Now, when this happened to me, I immediately felt like, what the heck happened? So the first thing I checked is my store on vacation mode? So let me share my screen here, and we can check on this. Let me just make sure everyone can see and hear me fine in the chat before we get going here. Let's check this. Okay, we should be good. All right, so I'll share my screen, and then I can usually go like this. Okay, so here on eBay, if I click on the top, this is not an account that I use. I just use these for videos, so it's always going to show $0 here. But this is where I logged in. Normally, like I said, thousands of dollars a day, and I logged in. It said I made $19 that day, and I was like, how does that make sense? So this is the first thing I did. I clicked on the top right where it says messages and checked if my store was on vacation mode. And the way you do that is by clicking on messages, change settings on the right, and then if vacation mode was on, it would tell you right here, but vacation mode wasn't on, so it wasn't that one. Now, if vacation mode is on, there is a couple different ways that vacation mode works, but one of the options is that your listings won't show up at all in the search results, and it'll say that the item can't be purchased if you're doing fixed listings. So that could be a very good reason why your store isn't making sales. You might have accidentally turned it on. A virtual assistant might have turned it on. So just keep that in mind. The second thing I checked were my limits. So if I'm going to go back to the seller hub right here, and if you scroll down, I'm trying to zoom out for you guys, scroll down to here on the right. Oh, share the screen. So down here on the right, let me move it over so you can see it. There we go. So down there on the right, these are my monthly limits on this account. Sometimes what happens is that you will hit your monthly limit and not even realize it. And when that happens, then all of a sudden, any items that are going to be relisted, good till cancel listings, they won't actually be relisted into your account. They're going to get delisted, unlisted. And so sometimes those are your best selling products. So that could be a reason why your sales suddenly took a big dip if you hit your limit. So what you want to do in that case is call eBay and see if you can get your limit increase and then add those items back into your store, or just go into your listings and delete some of the listings that weren't doing well anyway. And then once you do that, you can add back in the items that were selling anyway. So that's the second thing I checked. But when I checked on it, I didn't hit my limits. That wasn't what happened. So the third thing that I checked, and this is kind of along the same things as your limits, but I went into my listings here. I went into my active listings. Again, this store won't have really anything here. And I check the price of these. How do I get rid of this? Yes, I know how to use eBay. All right. I check the price of my items to see if they went up in price. Because if for some reason a bunch of your items went up in price, then people won't buy from you because they're priced too high. And this might happen if you accidentally mess up a setting, like if you're using a file exchange, if you're using a repricing software and made a change on that software inside your settings, and then that increased the price of all your items. That could be what happened. So if you go and see that all the items are now much higher in price, then you have to find out why that happened. And there's a good chance if you're using a repricer that you changed a formula in there without realizing it or without knowing what you were doing, and that increased the price. Along the same lines, come in here and come to the column. So this is number 4. Before we get to the thing that really happened to me, this is number 4. Come to the column that says available quantity and make sure there's actually product available. If these all say 0, then for some reason all your quantities are at 0. And again, you have to investigate why that happened. Maybe your repricer, again, is set up incorrectly. Maybe you messed something up with the file exchange if you're using it. So do some investigation. I've seen that happen to people before. Now, before we get into what actually happened to me, if you guys are new to eBay dropshipping and you want a course that introduces you to eBay dropshipping, everything you need to get started and understand it, I will have that linked up in the description underneath this video. But let's go to number 5. This is the 5th reason. I'm actually number 6. So the 5th thing you should check is your email and make sure you weren't suspended. Sometimes you will get suspended on eBay. Doesn't happen to a lot of people, but it could happen to you. So check your email. Maybe you were suspended. And a lot of times why new sellers are suspended is just for a verification process. eBay sees that you're a new seller. They just want you to prove that you are who you say you are. Give them the documents they ask for, which are just documents that verify your identity, and they'll lift the suspension. You can start selling again. So that didn't happen to me either, which brings me to number 6. The real reason it looked like I had $0 in sales, even though I shouldn't have been like that, is because of a glitch. eBay's system has been glitchy lately. I'm not sure why. And it said I only had $20 in sales when in fact that wasn't true. I went through all these steps. Everything looked good. So the last thing I did was I logged into my PayPal account, which I'm not going to show you guys. And the PayPal account showed actually I was selling products that day. I did sell several $1,000s worth of products that day. It was a glitch on eBay's dashboards showing the wrong thing. And even when I came into my orders here on eBay, it showed all the items that were ordered too. So these glitches on eBay do happen. Don't panic when something like that shows up. Ask around in Facebook groups. That's what I did. And other people were having the same problem. The same glitch was showing up for them as well. eBay glitches happen and they can be scary. Sometimes they screw us up. But as long as they happen to enough people and eBay acknowledges them, then usually they can, if it causes us any problems, eBay will kind of side with us, so to speak, and make it right for us. In this case, it didn't really hurt us. It just kind of made our heart race for a minute and slight panic set in when we saw it. But overall, not a big deal right there. But those are 6 reasons why it might have looked like your eBay store had $0 in sales when really there was a really easy fix or really easy solution as to why it happened. So let's see who's here in the live chat, and I can give some shout outs to people. We have Jenny here. Jenny says, isn't technology a lovely thing? Absolutely, Jenny. And I hope you saw that I'm using spot and paste here on my account. Let's see what else is going on here. We have, cannot see the video. But Josh can see and hear me. We have Dino from Croatia. Hey, Rich, what's up? Oh, guys, and by the way, if you like those 6 tips, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up before you move forward. Before we move forward with this. Okay, let's see. We have Jameson watching from Tennessee. Good evening, London. And let's see. Cool. And Dustin saw that glitch as well. What's up, Darren? Thanks for being here. So if you guys aren't here live and you want to ask the question in the comment section underneath any of my videos. And what I do is I save them all up, and then I can put them up on the screen during my next live stream and answer them. So recently I made a video talking about my favorite suppliers that I use. And one of the suppliers I use is Lowe's. So Graham posted this comment on that YouTube video saying that Lowe's is awful. Stay away from them. And Graham, in my experience, Lowe's definitely is not the best supplier. They definitely have a lot of problems with customer service, and their website isn't the best. But I still find that there's a lot of profit to be made. There's a lot of opportunity to drop ship from Lowe's, a lot of ways to make money. So even though they can be slightly a bit of a headache, it's totally worth it in my opinion. And I've been doing really well drop shipping from Lowe's, and I know a lot of other people who are as well. So sometimes the harder the supplier is to use, sometimes that works out to our benefit because it means other people are afraid to use them. And it gives us an opportunity to sell those products because other people aren't coming in and selling the same product. So less competition for us. So in that video, I also explained that one of the problems with Lowe's is that it's really hard to become tax exempt with them. So Ed asked the question, so are you not tax exempt on Lowe's? And do you recommend people not even bother becoming tax exempt? So I am not tax exempt on Lowe's for the most part. Now, Lowe's does have a tax exempt program. You could probably even look it up. Of course, my keyboard, there we go. Lowe's tax exempt program. And I'm just gonna adjust my camera here. And they do have the system, but it's very, very difficult to do. So this is the way you gotta do it. You got to sign up, and you actually have to physically go into a store. Oh, this is actually lowesforpros.com, but which is different than lowes.com. And you actually have to physically go into a store to sign up for the tax exempt program. And then once you sign up, then you're only tax exempt for the state that you walked into the physical store for. So if you want to become tax exempt in more than just one state, you physically have to go to those states, walk into a Lowe's store, and have it added to your account, the tax exempt for that state. Now, I tried to find workarounds for this. I literally faxed my tax exempt applications to a Lowe's in every single state, to multiple Lowe's in every single state. It worked for a few states, not most of them, only a few. And even where I had it, even the states I have it for, I still, every time I have to use it, I have to place the order on Lowe's, then call Lowe's up and say, hey, I just placed an order. Here's my tax exempt number. And it took them about 20 minutes to apply it. So just totally not worth it at all, just for those couple of states. Let's hop back into the live chat. Who we have? Looks like we have Sawar here. What's up, man? Thanks for being here. We're going to be doing a collaboration soon, talking about probably eBay dropshipping, of course. And we have OG Breadcrumb. Hey, Paul, do you need an LLC before filing for sales tax exemption? At what stage in the process do you recommend an LLC, if any? So you do not need an LLC to become tax exempt or to start collecting and remitting sales tax. And by the way, guys, any of you that are inside my eBay dropshipping course, I will be updating the tax exempt videos soon, probably in a couple weeks, because I'm actually going away tomorrow and won't have access to all the equipment to make videos. But that's because eBay is starting to collect sales tax for even more states for us, making our jobs much, much easier. So I'm just going to do a small update to the course about the new states that eBay is collecting for. But back to the question, do you need an LLC? No, you don't need an LLC to do that. At what stage do I recommend one? I can't recommend one just like a blanket statement, at X amount of sales per month. That's when you start doing it. You really have to talk to an expert and have them look at your finances, how much money you have in personal finances, if you have a house, if you have kids. All these things matter because you have to protect your assets in different ways. But that's the primary benefit of an LLC, is that it protects your personal assets if you do it correctly. So you do want to make sure that someone sits down and looks at your finances to understand, does it make sense? Do you have enough personal assets that need to be protected? And at what point do those need to be protected? Just things like that. All right. I'm very confused here in the chat because we have these two talking about how it's Monday and today's definitely a Wednesday, but Jenny's laughing at it, so I'm thinking there's an inside joke there. Okay. Oh man, he's going to New York and I just left New York. Cool. Well, that's sad. So maybe you'll come down to Florida too. Okay. So next question. So on that same video where I was talking about the different suppliers that I use, this subscriber said, what about Target or Costco? Just curious. And like I said in that video, I mentioned the 3 suppliers that I like to use, which are Lowe's, Home Depot, and Walmart. I use just 3 because I find that using too many just doesn't work as effectively as doing just 2 or 3 different suppliers. So Target, so in general, that's my blanket statement. You can use other suppliers besides those 3. Now Target, they have great items. The problem is that they are not reseller friendly to any type of reselling, drop shipping, flipping, anything like that. So you can go, like I know a lot of my reseller friends go into the store and buy stuff and then resell them. But if you get caught as a reseller, they won't let you purchase any items. Same thing with drop shipping. I know drop shippers who are getting away with it, drop shipping from Target to eBay and Amazon. But if Target catches on, you will get your account suspended. And if they find out that you start a second account, they'll suspend that account as well. People still do it, but just have that warning or just be aware of that up front. Costco is another great one that I've heard great things about. I've never personally used them myself. So I usually, if an item on eBay is not selling at all, if it's never sold at all, I only give it about 30 days and then I delete it. Sometimes I'll change the title or adjust the price and give it another 30 days and then delete it. But that's depending on my mood, really. And if it was selling and then stopped selling, I wait at least 60 days after it last sold and then I delete it. Yes, so you will be right near me. So I am south, well, not right near me, but I am south of there. Orlando's not too far, so I'll send you a DM. Let me know when you'll be in Orlando. Okay. So on the same video, because I was talking about drop shipping from Home Depot, Darth Vader left a comment. So everyone give Darth Vader a thumbs up. I don't drop ship from Home Depot anymore. I am below standard on eBay because of Home Depot shipping the items late. Who knows, I might even get suspended or limited listings. So in my experience, I've been drop shipping from Home Depot for years now, and I actually found their items ship out very fast compared to other suppliers and very consistently. If your items are being shipped out late, that means your handling time is too short. You have to extend your handling time. I have a 3-day handling time in general for all Home Depot products, and that has always been fine. Very rarely, some items won't ship out on time, but 99% of the time, the items will ship out within 3 days. Now, on their website, there are some items that do ship out later. Let me see if I probably can't find one really quick, but I will show you where to look. So if you just open up any random item, like this, it will tell you when it's expected to ship out. So down here where it says we deliver it to you, add to cart, order it within 1 hour and get it by June 28th. So that's 2 days from now. So I know that this is fast shipping. But if it said 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now, that's something you want to be aware of when you're listing the product. So you can either say, hey, I'm actually not going to list this, or I'm going to list it but have a longer handling time for that product. But that's a great question. If you adjust the handling time, it should be good. So right now, how I keep track of my sales is with a spreadsheet. I actually, my virtual assistants download a spreadsheet from eBay every day, or twice a day actually, that has all the sales on it. And then they just plug in a formula, so it automatically calculates PayPal fees and the eBay fees, and then we can add in the price of the item, and there's another formula that kind of adds it all up, subtracts it all out, and spits out the profit at the end, estimates cash back, spits that in there as well, and then there's a running total of that at the bottom. But that's the basics of how it works. It's very, very simple. So do you ever have a problem using multiple listing softwares on one eBay account? I generally advise against it because I don't think it's really necessary, and it can kind of confuse you. The only way I would do it is if you use one listing software for one supplier and another one for another supplier, because it can get confusing if you're using two different softwares for the same supplier. Because remember, you can't list, you're not allowed on eBay to list the same item twice. So if you list it once with one software and then list it again with the other software, you're going to get in trouble because it's not going to register that you listed it under the first one. Whereas if you list it under the first software and then try to list it under the first software again, it will alert you telling you, hey, you already listed this item, you don't want to list it up again. Otherwise, there's really not a problem with doing it as long as they're not linked up to the same products. Okay, so next question from this week. We have Kendrick here. Kendrick says, hey, Paul, I'm a member of your eBay dropshipping course, and I was wondering, how do you join the eBay group? So I get this question a lot for some reason, but if you just join my eBay dropshipping course, two things you want to know. First, check your email, because the link to the Facebook group, which is a private group just for members of the eBay course, you'll get an email with a link to that group. If for some reason you lost that email, then you can either search for it in Gmail by searching for my email address, which is paul@pauljlipsky.com, or go inside the course, and the last lesson, the last video in the first module has a link to the Facebook group as well. So speaking of the group, I wanted to give a shout out to Alton King, because Alton is really trying hard to make it work. He says, I can't wait to become part of the Titans team. Haven't made a drop shipping sale yet, but did my very first eBay sale the other day. So congrats to you, Alton, and starting to get the eBay account organized. This is why I wanted to give him a shout out. I realized the other day when I saw it was 3 a.m. and I still wanted to keep working, that I definitely work harder and more at this than my day-to-day job. Love all your videos. So thanks so much, Alton, for sharing that. Really inspirational to hear that you're crushing it at 3 o'clock in the morning trying to make it work. Okay. Okay, so Black God said, hey, Paul, how would you include AutoDS order fees in your break-even price? So if you're using an auto order fulfiller service or software, softwares out there do exist that will automatically order your items for you. I don't personally use them. I don't like them because I like to make sure that all my orders are correct and everything. Not saying that those softwares are bad and that they're inaccurate. I'm just saying for me personally, that's the way I like to run my business. And the other thing is, placing those orders do cost money. So whatever the cost is per order, it always changes depending on the software and depending on the number of orders you place per month. Usually the more orders you place, the cheaper it is per order. You would just find out what that amount is and then add a column to your spreadsheet that says, 5 cents, 10 cents, whatever it is, and add that in or subtract that out from your profit. You want to keep track of everything like that. Anytime you pick up an additional expense, you want to throw it in there and obviously try to minimize your expenses as much as possible. When you have it all in the spreadsheet, you can kind of start to see, hey, I'm spending a lot of money here. Do I really need that? Can I delete that? Can I start using this one, which is cheaper? Different things like that. You can see it all added up and how quickly it adds up. Okay. Okay, so this is a very common question that I get from Acetin. Will there be an invoice if the item was sent as a gift? So the question is, you're drop shipping from other retailers onto eBay and Amazon. Let's say it's from Walmart, Home Depot, or Amazon. Will the price of the item be included inside the box? Will the customer see the price that you paid and then get it and be like really mad because they paid much more than that on eBay? So some suppliers, yes, some suppliers, no. With Walmart, they generally do not include the price. Amazon, you can choose gift receipt, and then they won't include the price. With Home Depot, they don't include the price either. Other suppliers will, like Lowe's, will always include the price inside the box. When the customer gets it, they'll see the price that you paid. So it really depends on the supplier that you use. Now, in general, even the suppliers like Lowe's, where it includes the price, very few customers have complained to me about it. And my theory is that the customers don't even look at that piece of paper in the box, that they just rip open the box, take out their item, they're happy to get it. And in the rare cases when they do look at it, we send them a script which usually handles the situation and gets them off our back, or else we have some other ways to kind of just make them happy and to go away. So, great question. Paul, what are your thoughts on drop shipping from Amazon to eBay? Do you think it's still worth the time, or would you say other suppliers would work better now? So I've always focused on other suppliers besides Amazon. And the reason for that is just because I found that they work really well for me. And I've always been of the opinion that different suppliers can work for different people. So I have friends who have absolutely crushed it drop shipping from Amazon to eBay. So I always said, yes, of course it works. And I still believe that it does work. But if you're going to do it, I feel like it has to be like a very automated way. Whereas if you're doing a more hands-on, less software approach, then I really think it's better to use other suppliers besides Amazon. And the primary reason for that is just because lots of people drop ship from Amazon to eBay. And I think that it's become probably a bit more saturated than the other suppliers. Now, take that with a grain of salt, because I don't currently drop ship from Amazon to eBay. So I'm not in there. I'm not testing things all the time. I'm not in the weeds trying different things out. I'm focused on the other suppliers that I do use: Walmart, Home Depot, and Lowe's. So I'm sure there's people out there who are still doing really well drop shipping from Amazon to eBay. Okay, so currently I'm running 2 eBay accounts, and I have a third one that I do some testing on as well. Okay, next question. Daniel says, sorry I missed the live talk. My question is, what is your opinion on sales funnels? There are a few companies that advertise them. Could sales funnels help our businesses? How? So I keep getting these questions about sales funnels for some reason. So a sales funnel is basically when you take a customer through an experience that hopefully results in you and them purchasing from you. So think of it like this. At the top, you cast like a wide net. You're trying to reach a bunch of people, and slowly you start to build up some trust with those people, and then they buy. So the top of the funnel would be like an advertisement, like get a Facebook ad saying, hey, learn more about, like special lenses for your iPhone, or how to take awesome photos with your iPhone. So when I click on that, I watch a video about it, and then they start talking to me about a product where I can put a lens on my phone to take even better photos. And hopefully that results for them in me buying something from them, right? So that's really rough how a sales funnel basically is. The question is, can we do something like that for drop shipping on eBay and Amazon? And you could do that. And the way that would look is you would run an advertisement on Facebook showing a product that they are interested in. Then they click on that. That brings them to a website that you created where you sell them the product. And then they click on the buy button, and then it would actually take them to eBay or Amazon to make the purchase. And you actually get discounts sometimes if you are able to do it that way, instead of them finding the product from you directly on eBay or Amazon. Now, the drawback of this is that it's labor intensive. It takes some time for you to build up that sales page and for you to run the ads, run the targeting of the ads, not to mention all that costs money. And that's just going to cut into your margins. So I've never tried it. I thought that it didn't make sense for eBay and Amazon drop shipping because we focus more on volume with smaller margins, where if you had higher margins, you could kind of play around with advertising where you wouldn't really have the room to do that when you have smaller margins. So in my opinion, no, it really doesn't make sense to do sales funnels for eBay and Amazon when it comes to drop shipping. Oh, this is scary. Yeah, so it's definitely still possible to drop ship from Amazon. This person's Black God's doing an average of $50 to $100 a day, but lots of testing to find out what sells. So like I said before, I think every supplier does work if you're willing to put in the time to learn how it works and the most effective ways to use those suppliers. Okay, next question here. Jason says, have you recently opened a new eBay account? It seems like I don't have any limits on the account. Normally, when you start a new eBay account, you get a limit on the number of items you can sell. I showed you that before. I'll show you it again on this eBay account. And basically what this is this tells you how many items you're allowed to list and sell per month and the dollar amount. So here are my listings over here, are my limits right here. On this account, it's 1,000 quantity or $25,000. So those are my limits for this account. And usually when you're a new seller, you have really low limits. So the question is for this person, why don't they have any limits? Well, just because you can't see them doesn't mean you don't have limits. So what I recommend that you do is actually call eBay up and say, hey, what are my limits? And they'll tell you what they are. And hopefully you can get them raised soon. You can definitely get your limits raised once you start to sell some items. Okay. So next question we have here is from Kono. Kono says, I never even had an eBay account. I had it for a day and then got banned. So I kind of mentioned this before, where if you are a new seller, sometimes you'll get suspended right away. And that's just because eBay wants to verify that you are who you say you are. So you would have gotten an email where they're asking for your identifying documents, like a copy of your driver's license. You want to give them that information and then they will lift the suspension. It's happened to me as well. Even after having a couple of successful stores, I opened up a new one and I got suspended right away on that account just gave them the documents, told them, hey, this is the same account or same seller as the other account. They say, oh, okay, suspension lifted. The other time it happened to me was when I don't even know why I did this, but I opened up 2 accounts on the same day. And I think what happened was I opened one and then closed it and then opened another one on the same day. I was trying to make a video about something and I kept messing it up. So that's what I did. And then I got in trouble for that. Not trouble. That new account got suspended. And it made me nervous, so I never bothered to get that one unsuspended. I kind of just pretended it wasn't there, which I shouldn't have been worried about that, because since then, like I said, I have been suspended on a new account and just got it unsuspended when I gave my identifying documents. So it's very, very normal for it to happen. So the other day I made a video about Upwork, which is a service to hire virtual assistants from. And I talked about how I'm completely done with the service because of all the fees that they not only charge me, but they're also charging to my virtual assistants. And I talked to my virtual assistants about it afterward, and they let me know that there's even more fees for them than I originally thought. And this commenter said the same thing, that when we put up a job posting on Upwork, the virtual assistants actually get charged to respond to that. So just think about that. Just to respond to a job posting, they get charged for that. Another reason I'm not using Upwork anymore. I think they get a certain amount for free. I wish I could remember what my virtual assistant said. They get a certain amount for free, but they lowered the number of free ones that they get. So now they literally get charged just to apply, even if they don't get accepted. Once they're hired, again, like I mentioned in that other video, they're going to take 20% of the first $100 you make. It's ridiculous, the fees that they charge of virtual assistants. And that those costs just get passed on to us as the people who hire them. Okay. So the last question I had saved up, my question is, how do you deal with item location? So I made a video about drop shipping from AliExpress to eBay. So this person asked, what do you put as the item location if you're drop shipping from AliExpress to eBay? So in that case, if you're drop shipping any products from China, I highly recommend that you put the location as China. Yes, that will result in you receiving less sales because most people don't want to wait for their items to be drop shipped or shipped from China to them. But that is where I see people getting in trouble. They're lying and saying that the item is coming from inside the United States when really it's coming from China. And that's when I see a lot of people getting in trouble. So when you hear people getting in trouble for item location, that's usually what's going on. So that's why I recommend you're honest about the country that it's coming from. If it's coming from inside the United States, you can put inside the United States or multiple locations. If it's coming from China, though, you should put that it's coming from China. Okay, so Black God said, oh yeah, that reminds me what happened to your virtual assistant course. So right now, the virtual assistant course, it still exists. It's still updated. I just updated it. But really, the only way to get it is if you are a current member of my eBay Dropshipping Titans course. And once you sign up, you can get access to that one as well. Because it really doesn't make sense as a separate course or unless you're a member of eBay Dropshipping Titans. That is awful, paying money to apply for a job. Boycott Upwork. Absolutely. Let's make that hashtag trend. Awesome. And I think those are all the questions that I saved up. Yeah. So, guys, I wanted to let you know that this is I'm probably not going to have a live stream next week because I'll be out of town, and I'll actually be somewhere that, from what I hear, has almost no internet service. And if you guys want to learn exactly where I'll be going and what I'll be doing with my stores while I'm away, you should watch the video that's going to be released on Monday. So make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on that video. Or if you want a sneak peek, you can follow me on Instagram, and I'll be posting some videos of where I'm going. It's going to be pretty cool. And I probably won't be posting a ton because, like I said, I don't think I'm going to have much Wi-Fi where I am. So just heads up, probably no live stream happening next week. I'll miss you guys, but I'll see you the week after that for sure. Let's see if I missed any questions here in the live chat. Andrew says, eBay has multiple viruses. I think you mean glitches. But yeah, they always have weird things going on with, definitely with your sales, where items will sometimes be put into stock that aren't. These glitches come up sometimes. If you search, let's see what comes up. I'm not going to, well, let's take a quick look. If you just search for like eBay glitch, you usually find people complaining about things. eBay seller glitch. Yeah, so like people always complaining about different things that are happening. This was from 2018. Do not use the sell similar feature for you sellers out there. The glitch is that right now, the price field, it's getting messed up. So all these different glitches happen. I always find like their website's just like a little bit behind the times, especially when it comes to e-commerce platforms, where Amazon just seems to be really on their game when it comes to e-commerce. When it comes to their website. It seems like eBay is just kind of lacking behind. It feels like everything's kind of just like piecemeal together on eBay. Let's see. So this is rough. Lewis says, I just recovered my account back from a restriction, but all my listings were removed. I was selling $800 a day, but now only $60. Any ideas to get back faster? Go through your sold listings and see what was selling well and get those items back into your store as quickly as you can. And hopefully you were using like a repricing software like SKUGrid, because that will actually keep track, of course, of all your listings and where they're getting them from. So you can hopefully move a little bit faster. You won't have to do as much product research. You can just list up the items you had listed in your store before all the items were removed and get them back in there so you can start making the same volume in sales that you were making before. Okay. All right, guys, I don't see any more questions in here. So if you guys got some value out of this video, please consider giving it a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this, I usually do a Q&A like this every week live here on my YouTube channel, usually on Fridays in the afternoon. So make sure to subscribe and hit that little bell notification next to the subscribe button so you get an alert every time I go live, so you can join me, ask questions inside the live chat. Otherwise, guys, thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.